state that most borrowers are unaware of that these lending institutions have access to your bank accounts if you don't pay them on time. I'm sure that if most people who borrowed these payday loans knew that they would be paying back, on average, 4 times the amount they borrowed, and that these institutions can take money from your account without your permission, that they would never have borrowed the loan in the first place, which is why these payday loans are very misleading. And overall, these payday loans are misleading because they don't inform the borrowers of the true costs associated with them and the true power these lending institutions have to make sure they get paid back on time. Next, I will explain why payday loans are discriminatory and why you should never borrow one. Payday lending over the years has been under tremendous scrutiny due to their discriminatory practices. According to a report by the Center for Responsible Lending in 2010, minority community areas were found to be more than twice as likely to have storefront payday loan businesses than predominantly white neighborhoods. Furthermore, a study done by the Pew Charitable Trust in 2015 found out that the average borrower earns around $30,000 a year, and 58% of these borrowers have had previous trouble meeting monthly expenses, and even the average credit score that these borrowers carried was around 550, which is poor. Overall, these studies further support the fact that predatory lending discriminates against borrowers with previous history of financial troubles, as well as discriminates based on minority communities, and which further proves why you should never take one of these loans out. Lastly, I will explain the most important reason why these payday loans are a bad idea and that you should never borrow them, which is because it leaves borrowers worse off than before they even borrowed the loan. The way these loans are advertised is that they are easy to apply for, easily obtained, and they help your short-term financial problems. But however, this could be further from the truth. In reality, payday loans are ultimately debt traps that can leave borrowers in a vicious, never-ending cycle. Most people take out these loans to cover bills such as credit card debt, utility expenses, and unexpected expenses like your car breaking down. So they believe a small advance to hold them over until payday won't hurt them. But that is where they're wrong. Because these loans target those who desperately need them, these borrowers feel that they have no choice but to take them out. However, because of the insanely high interest rates associated with them, borrowers can sometimes pay on average 4 times what they borrowed in the first place. By doing this, these borrowers get stuck borrowing a second payday loan just to cover the first one, and we all know how that ends. Overall, you can easily see, because of these astronomically high interest rates, that these payday loans leave borrowers with even more debt than they started with, and to get out of these debt cycles is a lot harder than it is to get in them. In conclusion, the cons of taking out a payday loan completely outweigh the pros of taking out these loans. Today we have looked at what payday loans are, how their advertisement and marketing is misleading towards potential borrowers, how they are discriminatory to those with poor financial stability and minorities, as well as how detrimental they are to borrowers who end up in worse debt than they were before because of these insanely high interest rates. Overall, because of the vast number of negatives associated with these loans, I would highly advise those listening to seek financial alternatives and to never take out one of these loans. Thank you.